Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Zwift Community Live broadcast of the Kiss Crit Series European Edition, presented by Tacx. We're on race number 8. We're on the Volcano course today. I see 150 men lined up at the line right now with a minute to go to the start of the 8th race in the series today, and about 30 or so women lined up with about 3:54 to go for the race. If a little bit of explanation of what you're looking at here today, we're out on Zwift, massive multiplayer online racing and training tool and game, and there is a race going on today for top 10 participants or top 10 finishers in the series. We'll be getting an invite to a live final, actually. So there's competition going on for some serious prizes out here on Zwift today. So if you want to interact with the broadcast, you can do so the usual ways. You have questions, you have comments, you want to cheer for your favorite racer and bring that into the race today, you can do so by interacting directly on the broadcast over on Facebook, or we are watching our Twitter account as well as our Twitch account chat, so you can interact directly with us here. As usual, we're going to have some fast racing, I think, from the get-go. We are watching the series leader out the gate right now in the men's race. Kim Little with 10 watts per kilogram right from the get-go here. 135 beats per minute that you can see from him right now. Let's see if we might have Kim lined up out on course here for some live view of his current situation. I'm going to see if I can reload his, I think we might have a feed from him directly. We'll see if we can bring that on in, but we do see him here in that leaders jerseys here that Zwift has provided to all the leaders, yellow big Z kit that he does have on. So currently leading the series, Kim Little. He's got, it looks like here, 123 points from the races he's done so far. Tim Cartwright with 121. Now, this is a best 7 out of 10 races that you can get. And so 123, 121 for Tim Cartwright there. Tied there for second there, Soren Bay there. Currently in third, though. I think Tim with the latest best results, so just ahead of him. Peter Follin there, fourth place, 99 points. Gavin Dempster there, Phil Whiteley. Marcin Krizwonos, it looks like, sitting in seventh. Guy DeCoster, Vidar Mayo, and then James Phillips. Definitely all contesting for that top 10 situation. Now, the reality, though, is that there is a lot of racers just outside the top 10. 77 points, Bakalov, Tobias Miller there also with, it looks like, 76. British Turksma there, 76 points. Tom Hargreaves as well, riding for Noon Sigma, coming from Zwift HQ in 14th place. Be watching out for those racers trying to grab some top 10 points today and bumping themselves up into a higher position, because this is for an overall in that top 10 for a ticket to the finals. So very important to grab those points in these last final races. Race number 8, 9, and 10. All that's left, 3 races to go. And you know they're going to be really looking to contest the sprints here in the finals here. I'm going to be looking through and see if Tom is showing up on the day. As he has been on only 4 races in, 3 to go, and he's been on quite the run lately with a podium in every single race he's jumped into. Took second last week to a late attack to Tim Cartwright, who absolutely demolished the final K or so and was able to walk away with a W because of that. Now, in the women's race, though, they're lining up about 17 seconds to go, and it looks like a little bit of chatter going on. Good luck, ladies. Have fun. Good luck, everybody coming from Reed there. Now, we are seeing for their current standings, Rachel Elliott, 140 points. She is unstoppable. Z Kreider, 117. Patricia Engelman, she took the win last week. She's right on the heels there of Z Kreider. Cassie Baldy, Kristen Falk, all of them definitely, those 3 just behind Z, always breaking away on the races. So be watching out for them. And again, it's a top 10 situation for an invite to the final. So Frederic Haight, as well as Gerline Vanderbees, Kristen Pohl, looking Anna Ludendorff, as well as Lynn Prince. Some of these women with a few extra races compared to a few that were lower down in the series, who are starting to work their way into their top 7, are starting to bite at the heels of those who are sitting pretty with a few more races in. Now, Rachel her usual tactic. She is in the race today. It's good to see Rachel Elliott showing up, the series leader in that Big Z kit. We're seeing yellow kit there. And she rides for the KISS Racing team, though. Her and Tim Cartwright, both very, very experienced racers out on Zwift, some of the strongest we've ever seen. And I think KISS is looking to take down this series at the top spot with both of their strongest riders. But Rachel already has this locked up, as you can see in the points right now. She's got, it's your best of 7, 140 points on, you know, she cannot be challenged at that top spot here. But there are a few riders on the KISS Racing team that are out there today. And a few, Jen is out there for sure, looking to try and grab some points, as you can see here from the KRT team. We also are seeing Ludendorff out there as well. Actually, there's a lot of KRT team actually that are going to be looking to try and hold on to Rachel's wheel. And I think Rachel's out there to play the domestique today, actually, for the other women that are on the team. So Jen's going to be looking for a little bit of help, I think, from Rachel out there today. We also see Kay Pole out there as well. So it's going to be interesting race out there. See Reed there as well. So it's going to be really interesting to watch and see if the team tactics do change anything up at all. Vixen's out there as well in force, as you can see, with it looks like Jansen. I did see, I believe, one other Vixen rider, so be watching out for them. Watch out for Team Fearless, always ones to be dealt with for sure out on course here. But Angmo's out there we are seeing, so it's going to be PTZ, KRT, as well as one Vixen rider making this lead group. Inslee now falling off the pace, though. 4.2 watts per kilogram coming from her. She's going to have to close this down immediately if she does not want to be dropped off the back. I have a feeling that the pace at the front of this race is going to be a little bit higher than usual, with Rachel not just breaking away and looking to try and grab a teammate or two. I would be expecting some high charge attacks actually throughout the 7 laps on the volcano here, looking to maybe cause these breaks to happen at some crucial times. I expect fully some full-on sprint attacks off the front from KRT, especially with so many riders in and amongst the group here. So we are seeing plenty of cheering coming on through here from the peanut gallery, I'm going to call it, with Mr. Kenny Suh in there saying, "Hi, Nathan." Good to see you there, Kenny, in the broadcast. Steven Ludendorff is here as well. Also, best of luck to all the racers. Good luck to go KRT, coming from Steven, who I believe is most likely sitting next to Anya, probably on the bike during the broadcast here. So definitely probably cheering on and showing support there for Anya as she is looking to stay within the top 10, sitting in about 9th place right now. Now, if you would like to get involved in the broadcast, you can do so just like Steven did here. As we are seeing his comment coming through from Facebook. You can go ahead and comment on Zwift Community Live's Facebook. You can comment over at Twitter as well. And I believe we may be able to bring in the Instagram posts now, as they should be attached. And I'm going to make sure that we can bring those in. If we can, we will go ahead and bring your Instagram posts in as well. And yes, but she is not racing tonight. Gotcha, Steven. Thanks. I appreciate the comment there, Steven, letting us know. No, and I was looking to see if she was. So might slip out of the top 10 though, if she does not race tonight. So going to be looking probably for a couple of spots, as spots to bring back, as she will probably lose that top 10 because of that. Giannis Denny now coming in as well. Good to see her tuning in to the broadcast and cheering on her Vision teammates out there. So in the men's race, back in with them, we are seeing now, wait a second here. We've got some talent out on course, boys and girls, and coming straight out of Boulder, Colorado here. I'd be watching out for this guy to be an upset here today. Now, there's no heart rate monitor on though today. Now, I'm not sure we need to get Zada approval, but you know, I've always said, pro or not, Zada approval is always needed, regardless of whether or not you know the numbers are real, as calibration always needs to be checked on. But I am seeing none other than Coach Greg Henderson, multi-time Tour de France World Tour rider, lead out man for some of the biggest World Tour teams in the world for a long time, current performance manager for USA Cycling. Greg Henderson is in the race here, boys and girls. So I'll be watching out for maybe an upset. We'll have to see here. 4.6 watts per kilogram. Now, me and Greg have been doing some Coach Hendy workout Wednesdays, actually. And we've both been complaining about our FTPs coming down since we haven't been training quite as hard. Recently, Greg did retire from UCI World Tour Pro Racing. And we were having a chat about how quickly it seems like our FTPs were coming down after not training quite as much. And I'd be watching out for this one, though. He might have a couple matches left here for the race out here today. 376 watts currently. And Greg Henderson in the race today. Good to see Greg out there hammering away. We'll see if he can hang on with some of the boys out here. But we did see also Noon Sigma Sport with Tom Hargreaves, who's currently racing at the elite level for Noon Sigma Sport. Be watching out for him. He's going to be following the moves, it looks like here. 4.8 watts per kilogram, 168 beats per minute. Quickly on the rise in the overall here. We'll see if he can decorate the field again as he did last week with that second place, sitting on that pink Tron bike there in that Noon Sigma Sport kit. Now moving forward though, the attacks are starting very early now as we are seeing Bay, Shum, Little. Look at all of the Team Experimental support that is out there for Kim Little. This is a serious attack, following up with One Love and Adam Webb off the front here. Gray, Shum, Casey Shum leading things out at 189 beats per minute. This is a full-on serious attack right now into the first lap out on the Volcano course. Team Experimental showing up. No joke today. Kim Little sitting in here looking to try and drive the pace. Gray is gone with it. Soren Bay is there as well. And they're showing us that they are not messing around with the Crit Series whatsoever, making things super interesting. 5 Team Experimental off the front right now, going into full-on TT mode. Team Time Trial now is all they got to do to hold on to this. Look at Team Experimental not messing around and putting everybody else onto the back foot now. And they've even got the likes of Cartwright, Chris Wonos, Phillips from Innovation now, Dempster's there now up at the front saying, what just happened? Completely caught off guard on the downhill through the snake section, on the downhill out of the Volcano into the climb for the lap. I think they took all the speed and put on full on 10 watts per kilogram, and that's communication, that's teamwork, that's what it looks like to put everybody else on the back foot there. Team Experimental showing us how it is done. And that's what's important about having they have their own Discord, they have their own team communication going on right now, and they all threw down the orange numbers at the same time, put everybody else back in the hurt locker now. But will they be able to hold on to it? Are they organized enough, though, to hold on to it is going to be the question here. We're seeing 5.3, 5.6 watts per kilogram at the front end of the race now. 2 seconds is the difference. BRT closing it down now. We are seeing all kinds of mayhem, though, behind them as we're seeing a stretched out pack. Look at the pack, though, blown apart now. Hendy has closed it down, as you can see, right along with the rest of the group now. Where's Noon Sigma Sport? We are seeing Hargreaves here now, a little ways back. Hodges has made it as well, but Dauphin Williams, KRT, still on the back foot there. Melty Man not in the race any longer, it looks like here, trying to close things down. Dauphin's there as well, but 8 seconds back. Halstead, Linda, are there any, here's the question, are there any racers, though, that have been caught out from those attacks? Frank Garcia's there as well, coming from Team Experimental. Bolkarod there off the back, but a lot of racers been caught out. Usually we see 60 plus racers in that main group, but it looks like 40th place here currently for Hargreaves, 173, 172 beats per minute. Already the racers all up into their threshold or over threshold because of those attacks coming from Team Experimental. What an amazing attack there coming from the rest, from Team Experimental, really letting everybody know that they've shown up to defend the jersey out there with so many Team Experimental riders out there, not leaving Kim Little out there to dry, essentially. I mean, out there to hang and try, man, because he has been solo a lot of weeks here, and it looks like they've showed up in force to try and give him the W out here today. Lots of interaction coming through here, as we can see. Johnny Noblet now coming through with a little bit of a comment over at Twitter. And is this right? Am I seeing? And that is right. We're seeing a recent tweet there from Johnny saying, congrats to Greg Henderson on your Go Zwift concept bike achievement. You finally got it at Z Community Live, Matt Rowe and Kev Polton there. So it looks like, oh, we got the wrong image there as we're covering up the text in the background there, but it looks like he was able to unlock the fastest bike. This guy, Hendy, was after this thing. One day, I think he threw down like something like 6,000 feet of climbers. I think it was meters actually of climbing in one day, chasing that Tron bike. Actually, we'll see if it keeps him fast enough though to keep up with the rest of the group, as we are seeing the attacks again coming through here. Vander here, 44th place currently for him. I think there was another split in the field, trying to move forward here to see if there was. Webb, Shum, it looks like Bowman, Mueller in there as well, riding for R2 out of Germany. And I believe Mueller here is just outside of the top 10 for the current series. But now we do see Blaney now going here at the front, 11 watts per kilogram coming to him, 176 beats per minute. I wonder if they're going to let him go or not. Shum now following it up there. It looks like 8.3 watts per kilogram. Cartwright there as well, knowing that they've shown up to race today. I think Cartwright's going to pay a little bit more attention into each lap, as there was a serious 6 seconds off the front here. They are not letting up at all in the race today. Looks like a little bit of a calm here before another storm of an attack here. 40 again going though. Watch out for 40. Always one in the races for an upset. And looking through here, Nathan, please say Szerzynski 5 times real fast. Kurcharski is saying, I appreciate the comment there. We'll work on it. I will, for sure. And why does one look to have a disc wheel on the back? Adam Owens is asking. So great question, actually, there coming from Adam Owens. And that is because the disc wheel that you could only, the full disc on the Cervelo S5 that you could only get in beta, is actually the fastest wheel set out on Zwift. And so if you have the Cervelo S5 with the full disc in the best, which you could only get in the beta, you then are able to have the absolute fastest bike out on Zwift. It's not by very much, but it is just a little bit faster than the Tron bike. And so Glenn Knight's coming through here and says that this is actually the race organizer. Good to have Glenn from KISS here, saying it looks like Team Experimental are out in force night, all working to make sure Kim keeps the yellow jersey. It does look like that's what is happening. But KRT is out there as well in the women's race. Looks like things are calming down just a little bit here in the men's race. Let's see what's happening with the action over with the women here. Look at this. It looks like Rachel Elliott actually riding alongside of Kay Jen here, pulling her along, 4.0, 5.0 watts per kilogram. She is allowing, it looks like, Jen and Prinz, as well as Kreider there, and it looks like a Vixen rider here, Jansen, try and pull them back, because every week it's been the story, Falk, along with Cassie, going off the front. Angerman there as well. So Cassie Baldy, Falk, and Angerman all doing the usual attack early on, but with Rachel Elliott in the chase group, current series leader, playing the domestique this week, continually bumping up the effort. And this may be a threat actually for this lead group of 3 here. They're going to have to seriously work together. There can be no infighting this week amongst them. And actually Ingerman here, who every week has, I think, had a little bit in the reserves, is not going to be able to reserve anything, is going to have to really pull at the front end of this pack here to bring, to make sure that this 15-second gap stays intact now. Now, if they're with Rachel here, she has to really watch whether or not the meters are opening up outside of 5. Jen has to hold on to that wheel right along with Kreider and Jansen there and Prinz in order to hold on to that speed. 24 miles per hour seen from the 25 now on the downhill here. Angerman here and Falk here up in that 29. We'll see if they do match the speeds on these downhill sections here. But Elliott now, this is the section that she can really take the pulls at the front end of this group, and the other riders can sit in, gain all of that advantage here. But will they hit up into that 29 miles per hour so that we were seeing from the lead group here? So making things interesting for sure, having Rachel in this group here and making that chase. But it is Falk here along with Baldy and Angerman. It looks like Highland, though, this is a wild card that's been thrown in amongst the racers here. 160 beats per minute. T. Highland here coming out of Sweden. Unfamiliar with this rider, actually. We'll have to see if she's able to make an upset here. T. Highland. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the past races for her. She back on, it looks like on the first, did the KISS Crit Europe and took a 7th place last week, actually. So she could better her result here. She put down some solid effort here, averaging, it looks like 4.0 watts per kilogram for the duration of the race. Maybe caught out at a bad time, but she's only got 5 races out on Zwift. Looks like she did the KISS Crit Europe both on the 18th and the 1st. This will be her 3rd race in the Crit series. And on the 18th, she took a 9th and then a 7th on the 1st. So bettering her results every time she does jump into the races. We did lose her for a second there, but it looks like Elliott here. Highland now back into the race now. 4.4 watts per kilogram. See if she can keep the pace high at the front end of the field. 161 beats per minute coming from her right now. We are jumping around a little bit, so let's jump back in with the men's race as we are seeing attack off the front here from a lot of the stronger riders here. Hendy is here now. It looks like everybody we've been talking about to watch out for is on the attack, chasing actually an attack at the front end of the group here. Little there, Cartwright now, and it looks like Webb from One Love following up Shoveler. 5.1 watts per kilogram coming from No Country Flag at this point that he is selected in the game here. But Gorlak is coming from Team Poland now, working from for Krzwonos, I would assume. As we look through the field, I think we are going to see 4 to go in just a moment here. 4 to go, about halfway point now out on course, and we are seeing things calming down a little bit. Cartwright now just giving a little kick right on through. Actually, is that Hodges at the front, maybe working for the likes of Cartwright. We are seeing him slowing things down for the KRT team now. So I'm going to go ahead and check out our Twitch chat here. We are seeing Go Cassie, Go TZHR. Good to see Jerry Delport hanging out in the chat here. Racing Mike is there as well. Beta elitist discs. Nobody told me about Zwift. Racing Mike is saying, calling us all a bunch of elitists who do have the the full disc wheel in the back. And we are seeing actually one of the riders who was a part of the beta testing here, Casey Shum. I've been riding with this guy out on Zwift for about 3 years almost at this point, and it looks like Casey is rocking the Cervelo bike with the S5, the Cervelo S5 with the full disc in the back, and has a little bit of the unlocks that I don't even have with some running gear on there. But this is what the best setup you can have for the fastest bike. I think that may be changing in the near future. I wonder, there has been chatter about a store out on Zwift eventually and some other things, and I wonder if perhaps they will open up the rear disc actually once we can unlock more and more of our more bling for our bikes out on the platform here. This is going to be a couple of lapped riders actually here. Casey Shum actually just closing the door here up at the front, it looks like, making sure nobody goes anywhere. It looks like they're just following up every single attack that they can. Now, here's the thing though, 40 is off the front, but he is not a part of the series, I believe. If I look through at the live results here, And I see whether or not 40 has enough races out there, and he's not anywhere within the top 20 from what I can see. So I do not believe that 40 is involved at all in the series to try and take down any of the racers here. So 40 here, gonna look at some of his past results. And he did the EVR Europe race back on the 5th, took a bronze there. It looks like their 3rd place. CVR World Cup training took a 2nd, WBR 4 lap. But as I look through here, he did do, it looks like the KISS men's crit back on January 11th. But that's the only one that he's done besides this one. So definitely not going to be able to take down any points. So they're not going to chase him. I think they're going to let 40 go if he does go off the front, as he has is not a threat to the overall for the points. So giving away those points at the front for Team Experimental is no big deal to them. All they care about is those who are the threat that might be able to take the jersey off of Kim's shoulders. So it's all about the jersey at this point and defending that jersey. Now I do see one rider there from Team Experimental off the front there. It's going to be Cartwright though with a very early attack. Charlie followed up a Bolchin here. Now Bolchin is a threat, I believe. I think that's why he is being followed. Looking through some of the results here, and actually I'm not seeing if Bolchin has any results though to his name for the overall. I'm gonna just double check here and make sure I'm not missing him in the top 20. He is not in the top 20 for the series, so he's another one who can just grab a few points but does not have enough points in the series to be a threat. So they're just gonna let him go as well. Cartwright chased that down though to try and get away, and it looks like at the front end of the race here, Shum along with Webb, Cartwright no longer off the front, was caught immediately. Now we're going to see probably a couple more attacks here, though, going into 3 laps to go. 3 laps to go. 24 minutes, 25 minutes now of racing in. We got about 15 to 20 minutes to go, but man, it has been absolutely crazy fast out here today. Non-stop attacks. This is not for the faint of heart here out here. That's for sure. Now we start seeing Henderson here on a little bit of a back foot now, as you can see, 9.8, 10 watts per kilogram to grab on using that draft. As you can see here, Hodge is here, Hawks, Turksman now, who is in the running here. We were talking about him just a little while ago. He is in 12th place currently, 76 points, only 5 races in. He does not have his best of 7 yet, and he is on the rise here in the overall for the series. Trying to play things smart, though, here out of the Netherlands and try and grab the best points he possibly can. He does have a 3rd underneath his belt. He's averaging about 15.2 per race. And to give you an idea of what 15.2 will do for you, 17.6 for Kim Little, Tim Cartwright 17.3, Soren Bay 17.3. We're seeing Gavin Dempster there 16.2. All those names, if we look at the leaderboard, actually are within the top 5. So if you're averaging around 14 to 17 points per race, you are in usually a top 5 or so situation if you do have your 7 races in. Now Turksma, only 5 races, averaging 15.2 and outside the top 10. This guy's on on the trajectory to be within a top 10 situation by the end of this racing series. So there's definitely some interest probably to drop this racer off if he does find himself in a little bit of the hurt lock or a little bit of bother there, unable to hang on to those top paces now. Now they're about to catch some lapped riders here, and this is going to be a point where you might see attacks because of the mayhem that they do cause at the front end of the race. We'll see if we do see anybody going here. Sorman here from Sweden now hanging in amongst the racers, looking to get a workout. Not one of the threats though, that's for sure. We're going to go ahead and follow. It looks like we're going to see if we can follow up Cartwright, actually, as he's usually one of the most aggressive riders on the course. Currently 2nd overall in the series, following Team Experimental as much as they possibly can. Kaylin from KRT now doing some work at the front there as well. Looks like just to keep the pace high enough that nobody wants to make any attacks out the front now. 6.2, 6.5 watts become, and we see Cartwright there following it up there. 5.2 from Cartwright, 400 watts. No resting coming from the likes of Tim at this point, and keeping things plenty fast. Now, we do see them coming through a few of these lapped riders, as you can see. Are we going to see an attack as they come through the lapped riders? Or they're just going to keep things calm is the question. I'm not seeing any attacks just as of yet. So looks like it's just going to be calm until the next time through the lap section that does have the downhill and the uphill. You know, it does continue to come at you, and they try and take the rest as much as they possibly can because there are enough undulations, enough climbing on this course with those sharp punches to keep the heart rates pretty high. And at this halfway, a little over halfway point, I think the riders are just looking for a little bit of a reprieve before the next time up and over the top here. So Greg Henderson actually typing, he says that he's absolutely blown up here, but he was able to type in the broadcast. So I don't know, Hendy, Larry might be creeping up on you and getting in your head there. Just tell Larry to shut up and get on with it, right? You know, misery loves company, Greg. Come on, Hendy. He needs a little bit of the coaching here, and hold that wheel. I want to see that sprint, not just the lead out man today, Hendy. I want to see the sprint to the finish line. I'm calling Greg Henderson for the wild card out there today. Sure hoping he can bring it home there today. So, and stuck on a train, legs want the pedal, have a great race. So Joe Gavin Richardson, good to see you in the broadcast as always, and hope to see you in the races soon. Now they are in the downhill, where we do see some attacks a lot of times with the speed that a lot of times comes on through, but we'll see if they do carry that speed into the uphill section here in just a second. That's usually where we see attacks right here every time. We're going to have two to go after this climb, and this would be a good time, I would think, to try and get away. Shut up, Larry. Probably shut up, Nathan, too, coming from Greg. And we are seeing, it looks like some attacks going to happen here. As soon as we're done with the attacks here, we'll be jumping back into the women's race. I want to see whether or not we do have any of the riders wanting to try and get away at this point. Does look pretty calm though at this point here. Team Experimental there with Casey Shump 3.9 watts per kilogram. We are seeing Team Hardcore here as well with Morgenstern there, and now is the time. A lot of times when we do see a few of the attacks, they may be saving up though for that final lap kick, but we are seeing Adam Webb now. Been surprised at his performance here in the races, as he definitely was showing you know, that he's got some serious firepower to win some races out there, but it looks like unable to grab any of the top spots in the series right now. Now, looking through from the live results, Adam Webb is leading things out on course, and I'm not seeing, though, him in the top 20, though. So not a threat as well. So they might just let Adam go eventually. Doesn't look like any attacks as of yet. We're going to have 2 to go, I believe. 2 to go. And, of course, just going to double check our lap count here as they do come around. And looking through. Yep, 2 to go out on course here. So now in the women's race, we do have an interesting situation starting to develop, as we do have Highland all in no women's land here on her own here. And then it looks like, well, interesting situation here. Highland's solo. Now, I'm not sure if that's actually the situation. Did Highland find herself off the back somehow? Frankenheim Lambert here as well. And I do believe we are starting to have a little bit of a jump around. That's another reason why we weren't able to jump into the race with the women, as we were losing our coverage there from the jump arounds that we were getting. So it does look like Highland is still with Falk, and it may be Cassie as well with her. Now we do have Kristen Falk here from Vision, but see, we keep on losing the riders here, so we're gonna hopefully be able to stay with them, as we are 28 minutes into the race, 13 miles total right now. It is going to be about a 20 or so mile race, so they're going to have about 4 to go out there, but we're not sure the current situation from what we can see from the images, but we can get Zwiftpower.com will help us out with that, though. Patricia Ankerman, it does look like, is off the front with Cassie in Highland. Kristen Falk is there as well, it looks like. So it's still a lead group of 4. Rachel Elliott leading out a chase group, it looks like, of about 5 or 6 riders, about 25 seconds back at this point. Then there's another chase group in the women's race, 158 back from the lead, and about a minute and a half back from the Elliott group. Sonia Inslee, Steve Egmo, Kirsten Pohl there, Carrie Conenberg is in there as well, Claire Reed, all in that group. And And then another chase group, about the third chase group back, is going to be Bettina Z, Frederica Haight, and then Gillian Leach and Hild Asperheim. Now, those riders will be getting points, but Frederica Haight is in a top 10 situation currently, but is outside, well outside the top 10 currently in the race right now. So she is going to have her work cut out for her today to try and close some of those gaps down and get as many points as she can possibly get in order to hold on to her current placing in the series. We'll keep an eye on that. Hopefully we can get a steady feed here in the women's race, and we'll get back in with them as they make their way around the course. Back in with the men's racing, though, we are seeing some attacks, though, with Kaylin there, Cartwright there, Sorman, and then we are seeing Bay now with Kim Little up toward the front. 17.5 looks like miles in right now. And then Bergestein now following things up. Looks like another attack here coming from Bon Kessel there in that bikes and beer kit. Not going to be getting away, it looks like, though. Fairly calm now. Noon Sigma Sport there with Tom Hargreaves, 178 beats per minute. You can see that heart rate continue to drift higher and higher as they make their way into the final lap. Lap and a half to go. All the points are going to be on the line here. Now, again, the top 10, the ones to be watching out for whether or not they can hold on to all the attacks. Little, Cartwright, Bay, Phone, Dempster, Whiteley, Chris Wonos, DeCoaster, Mail, and Phillips, all to be watching out for them as they are looking for their best of 7 out there. Now, Hendy is in here now, 4.6 watts per kilogram, trying to fight off the Larry. Chris Wonos is here sitting pretty, 158. Whiteley is in there still as well. Turksman's there. Sherritt's there. We are seeing, looking for Cartwright. Where's the likes of Cartwright? Is he off the front there? Heigel, Shum there as well. Cartwright now toward the front, it looks like, with Kaylin continuing to make things very fast at the front. We're seeing him using arrow power up, actually, and getting a little bit of a gap, and it looks like they're trying to cause the rest of the riders to chase the likes of Tom of Kaylin. Now, Kaylin, I do not believe, is in the chase for the overall. He's just trying to cause a little bit of mayhem in the group now. Phillips is here now, currently 7th or 10th overall, following things up here. And it looks like Cartwright, though, 9.0 watts become, it looks like 169 beats per minute, following Kim Little. Kim Little not really trying to get away. I think he's just doing a little bit of fade climbing at this point and not going to be trying to get away with 1 to go. I think he's going to have a lead out train, though, from Team Experimental into the final lap. Going to be going into 1 to go, 1 to go out on course. And Phillips here, 10th overall, looking to really, you know, who he's going to be watching. He'll be watching the likes of Turksma. He's been watching, I think, you know, he's going to be trying to get a W, but at the same time, he's definitely going to be thinking about whether or not he can hold on to that 10th place and beat anybody who is knocking on the door there. The likes of Bakalov, Turksma, a few others who are just outside of that top 10. Bakalov, Mueller, Hargreaves as well. He's definitely thinking about Hargreaves. If Hargreaves beats him out there, if Hargreaves continues on his rampage, actually, of the podium, every time he's jumped into the race, he's going to bump Phillips, Mail, Baklov, Tobias there, Guy DeCoaster. He's going to bump them all out of the current situation that they are sitting within that top 10. Now, another situation that we have going on here, I don't think the coaster has shown up on the day, actually, and has left some points out there and a spot in the top 10 because he's only got 6 races. A few of those who are making their way into the top 10 as they make their way into this last lap are going to be able to take that spot from him. And so there's going to be some shuffling around here in the overall for this race today, going into race number 9 and 10. Now, if you're just tuning in and you'd like to get push notifications every single time that we do go live, head on over to our Twitch channel. And a little bit of an announcement next week for the European edition of this race, we will have a spotlight actually on Twitch's front page. So we're going to have a lot of new viewers and more of an introduction to what Zwift is, some lead in for about a half hour to the race, a little bit of post race content as well. So definitely tune in next week and head on over to Twitch for all of the interaction over there. As the chat is going to be super hyped. It's going to be more like a stadium environment, I would think, over there with the chat actually. And definitely head on over there if you are watching on our Facebook right now or on YouTube. That's going to be the place to be next week with the front page highlight. Probably thousands upon thousands of new viewers that have never seen Twitch never seen Zwift over on the Twitch page, actually. So we are seeing Hendy here, 5.7 watts per kilogram. Maybe keeping an eye on Coach Hendy. He says that he's absolutely blown up from Larry, but I'm not sure that's going to be happening. Larry lactate is what we're chatting about. A little bit of a joke. We've got an inside joke between me and him from Workout Wednesday. Now up toward the front, we are seeing HS here making a little bit of attack here. We are seeing, again, it looks like Phillips now there as well. Top 10. Trying to make things happen. A shoveler there, Webb there, following it up there. Card right now, 7.1 watts per kilogram coming from 7.4. Now Gray there from Team Experimental here chasing that down. And this looks like it's Team Experimental, the ones who are going to be shutting down KRT here. Shum now taking the chase there. Little sitting on his wheel. You can see the big Z jersey actually of Mr. Kim Little there riding for Experimental. You can see the situation as it unfolds. Grabs the wheel of Cartwright here, tries to hold on to the wheel of Adam Webb now. Now the attacks are starting up here. Look at Cartwright here, 6.6 watts per kilogram. Last week he was already off the front at this point. Doesn't look like the upset's going to be there. We'd work our way backwards in the pack here, but I'm not going to want to lose the front end of the race now. Cartwright now trying to chase things down. It looks like 400 watts or so just to hang on now. And at the front now, we are seeing 15th place now for Cartwright. And at the front, it's going to be Bay now. Dempster, Bacloff now leading things out. Now, it's always that shuffle that you see from the riders, not wanting to be too far toward the front, but at the same time, not wanting to be caught out. Where's going to be the final attack into the line now? We're seeing Bacloff now, who is trying to battle still for that top 10 situation. Here comes Hargreaves now. Hargreaves absolutely flying, it looks like, trying to take down the sprint, but Kim Little up toward the front now, 9 watts per kilogram. Gorlock, though, is absolutely gone. Team Poland, who is Gorlock? That is my question, as he is flying away from the rest of the pack. 9 watts per kilogram. And where are the aero power-ups? Kim Little trying to make something happen. Not sure it's going to happen, though, as Gorlock is going to be the upset, though. Blanley, though, going as well. But here comes Bacloff to the line. But no, it was Cartwright. Cartwright right at the line. What an effort there from Tim Cartwright to bring it home and is able to grab that win in the last 20 meters there. Tim Cartwright absolutely flying and perfectly timed sprint for him. Let's take a look at the replay as it played out there for us. And it looks like it was off the front. Gorlick, no idea who this rider is actually. We've seen him a couple of times, but wasn't expecting him. But then the last ditch effort, 12 watts per kilogram from the lights of Cartwright there, as you can see. 1 second back, flying through the pack. I thought it was going to be Bacloff, but no. Cartwright, then Bacloff, then Kraswonos there. I think that's going to be the finish order from the riders. Cartwright, Bacloff, Blaney, Gorlock, Kraswonos, Dempster, and Bay Whiteley, the next one across the line. What an amazing effort there from all the riders. Now we're going to see, I do believe I do follow a few of the other riders that are in the race for the women's race, and we'll see if we can jump in with them for the event here. And as we did lose the women's race actually out on course here, so I'm going to try to leave the event, and if I can, we're going to try and jump out of this event, and if I can, I'm going to be able to find the women's race for you, but I'm not sure I'm going to be able to grab it for you here. Maybe I can join the other riders here, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and log out, and we're just going to go ahead and hang out in the pens in the women's race for now. as we did get caught in the pens. I'm going to log out on our other feed. I apologize, everybody. We're trying to hold on to the women's race as best as we can, but we are getting a little bit of a bug situation here that we have been dealing with a little bit lately, where the riders do disappear for us. We're unable to stay with them out on course. So we're going to go ahead and grab this for you and jump right back into the race. I do follow a few of the racers, and so I should be able to jump in with the front end of the women's races. I believe Rachel is out there, and she will be able to give us a view of the current situation in the women's race here. So I'm going to change this up in just a second. You're going to get some Zwift awesomeness load screen menu. But Tim Cartwright there, what an effort there from Tim, and perfectly timed there for the race there. Dame Newsom, I really appreciate you coming into the broadcast and letting us know that Carrie is also streaming. And if you want to see her stream over there, we're hoping that we're going to get some there we go. So we're going to ride with Rachel, and we are going to be able to grab the broadcast for you directly from Rachel Elliott's point of view now here. And there we go, back in with the women's race now, as they are just heading into their one lap to go. Now the question is, have they caught the front end of this race? Now the riders are called away 45 seconds. So it looks like the likes of Elliott here being in here has not changed things up too much, actually. Now, well, actually, excuse me. Nope, we are correct there. So it looks like Falk, Cassie, Highland, as well as Angerman still able to hold on to this 45 seconds or so with one lap to go. They will not be caught. Looks like, though, Falk here maybe on the back foot a little bit here and falling off the pace. 8 meters actually. Need to close this down now if they're going to be able to if she's going to be able to hang on to that front pack. She does close it right on down. We'll give her a right on. Cassie there as well for TZHR. It looks like Ingerman there still in there as well. 5.1 watts per minute, 174 beats per minute, 168, 178. And it looks like Falk there up in the 178. All the riders definitely, right up into that threshold or so. And I wonder if Angerman, though, is going to have the same kind of attack. She's been able to walk away from the rest of the racers every week, actually. And as you can see here, Rachel Elliott there, 140. Z Kreider, 117. Now, Z, though, off the back in that chase group, riding for Team Fearless, I believe, out of Switzerland, I think. And though Patricia Angerman, Cassie Baldwin, and Kristen Falk, with one more race under their belt, may be able to overtake Z in the overall standings, actually, as they are all off the front here. So Z, I think, after this race, barring anything crazy in this last lap, is going to fall back to, I believe, 5th place on the day. Frederica Haight maybe also going to be finding herself falling maybe outside the top 10 here. And Anya Ludendorff also not out there today. So Kirsten Pohl, Jerlene Vanderbeek, I think Willem Prince, all going to be bumping their places up. And I think a few of the women who are outside of the top 10 are going to find themselves in the top 10 and battling for the top spot. Carrie Konebear, Steve Ingmo, Claire Reed, Sonia Inslee, all in the race out there today. And they're all within the top 15. They're going to be gaining enough points, I think, to find themselves in a position to take a spot in the live final and try and hold on to it, actually. So Tom of Kalen say, go Rachel, KRT, Blob Breaker. And I'm loving the comment there coming from Tom of Kalen. Awesome job, the TC from Joe Gavin Richardson. And we are hearing from Glenn Knight saying that the league is updated. Thanks a lot, Glenn. Appreciate that. We'll be looking for the current situation. So are you saying that you already have it updated, actually, for the results? And it looks like, yes, the current situation after today in the men's race series, after 8 races now, Tim Cartwright has his best of 7, 132 points, and he's got 5 wins now, and now has taken over the overall series. Kim Little sits in second place still with 123. Soren Bay 121. In third place, Gavin Dempster, Phil Whiteley. Marcin Krzwolnis bumps up one place though with that results today over Phone, who is now in seventh place. Bakalov there in eighth. Guy DeCoster there now sitting in ninth, actually, with the no-show today. Tobias Mueller there in 10th. Phillips tied for 10th, actually, now with 81 points each. Vidar Mail there sitting in 12th. Bertus Turksma there sitting in 13th. Tom Hargreaves there, 5 races in, 74 points, still in 14th place here. But only 5 races in. The rest of the riders in the top 10 all have 7 races. And if we look at the result out there today, now I know we're harping on this, but Hargreaves, I think, is one to watch out for. But looks like it just wasn't there today with 18th place, actually, today. Usually taking podiums, maybe no sprint on today, maybe got caught a little bit caught out today. So definitely rougher day on the bike, it looks like, for the likes of Hargreaves, but lots of races still to try and get within that top 10. Only 4 places and 76 points after all these races out there today. All these races for the other racers there already having their best of 7. I think still a shot for him out there. But now we are coming into the final for the women now. Highland leading things out there. 170 beats per minute. Falk looking at 173. Cassie there 163. Now it's Angerman heading to the front every week. She waits till this moment and then goes and walks away from it. Who's going to take it within the top 4? Let us know who you think it's going to be. Is it going to be Cassie? Is it going to be Highland? Is it going to be Falk there? Going to make up a little bit of an upset. Who's going to have the aero power-ups? Power-ups allowed in the KISS Racing Series. And Falk now falling off already. Angerman turning the screws to the front here. 7.2 watts per kilogram, 170 beats per minute. But here comes Highland for the upset, maybe. It'd be her best result out on Zwift so far. But Angerman with 10 watts per kilogram. There's the kick on the gradient now. Has 5 meters. Cassie now following, though. Here comes the aero power up from Cassie Baldy, though. Is she going to be able to hang on to the wheel of Angerman? Have an upset here from Cassie. She's been unable to do it every week, though. And maybe not. We'll have to see if she can. Angerman now again, 8 watts per kilogram, 8 watts per kilogram. There's the feather power up now as they head into, but it's only a 15-second power up. And Cassie now still with that arrow, but Angerman's got 10 watts per kilogram every week. She does the same, and it looks like she's going to walk away with this one again with the W. 13 watts per kilogram. Cassie off the back, going to be taking second. It looks like Highland now trying to hang on. It looks like third. Now Falk going to be taking fourth on the day. Solid effort there from the women in the top 4 here. But here comes Kreider there with the sprint. Rachel Elliott now trying to lead out the teammates there. But Kreider there trying to defend the 4th place overall. Here comes KRT and Force there. But they're going to be watching out for the Vixen rider, as it looks like Jansen here is trying to ride the wheel, though, of the likes of Jen. Now Jen, though, with that aero power up trying to catch Kreider. But it looks like Kreider going to be taking the sprint from that chase group there. 6.9 watts per kilogram and across the line. A little bit of fade at the finish line, though. Gonna have to get across there. There comes Jen now getting the better of Jansen. 15 meters back there, just over the top of Prinz there. Rachel Elliott not going to be taking any points from her teammates, just doing the work for them out there today. So solid effort there from the women crossing the line in the top 10 there. Let's take a quick look here at the results as they did come across the line. Looking like Patricia taking the W out there today. Solid effort there from her. We'll wait for the update from ZwiftPower.com. Does look like Carrie Conaberry, though, coming around, though, for the sprint along with Inslee, Reed, England. Now, these spots do matter, as these last points out on course are going to be for a little bit of a bump up into that top 10, as some of these women are just on the cusp there of a top 10 situation. A few of the other women have not shown up on the day, so they will be jumping into top 10 as long as they finish get across the line. Now, it was Patricia Angerman for the win. We are seeing the live results now. Cassie Baldy just 2 seconds back. Tilda Highland coming in for third. Best race out on the Zwift KISS Crit Series, actually. presented by Tacx, actually, with her third race out there. Kristen Faulkner for 4th, Zeke Kreider for 5th, Cash Jen for 6th, In Jansen coming in for 7th, Willem Prins there for 8th place. Currently from what we can see now. So Carissa Min in the house. Good to see you there, Carissa. Hargreaves and 40 riding big UK race at weekend. Maybe saving the legs, Kim Little letting us know. Thanks a lot. Appreciate you letting us know on that. So we are seeing the sprint though heating up here from Anglo and Inslee. As you can see, 173, 172. Who's going to win in this sprint? Let us know what you think here. And we are seeing a couple of more comments coming over through. Tom of Kalen said, Tim taking over. 2018 goal reached. Well, it's going to have to defend now. And Tom, that means more domestique work, I would think, actually, for the racing. So, Tom, you guys are going to have your work cut out for you guys. I think Team Experimento are going to show up again and try and take that back. We're seeing Kimmy Gray coming on through. Go KRT Racing. Come on, Kristen from Giannis Denny cheering him on. Sean Gray said, go Lindy. Cheering the racers on out there right now. So we're looking through here and we do see Inslee now coming on through from PTZ. Coming across the line in just a moment. Now we do see an attack here from the PTZ rider. Pole here trying to hang on. Can she do it? But it's 5.8 watts, become 180 beats per minute here coming from Inslee. Though Pole now 4.2, 188 as well. Vixen here has to hold on, but it's over 5 meters. No draft. Angbo with the feather power up. Will we see a late attack from her? Try and get across, but Reed off the back. These points matter for her. We'll give her a ride on. There's the arrow power up coming from Reed, but Pole now from KRT coming to the line now, gonna get the better of Inslee, and it's a slow roll to the line. It looks like here, absolutely suffering across the line. Was it Kona Bear? Just barely. I'm not sure. I can actually, let's go ahead and see if we can get the replay on that, as we saw Kona Bear, I believe, right to the line. And let's go ahead and see if she was able to pull that off, actually, as they were coming to the line here. Now, it was going to be for sure pull across the line first, but was it Vixen there able to pull it off right at the last second? Inslee, I think, just, yep, no, Kona Bear came across at the last second and did not nip her at the line. It was a half, I believe, a half a bike length or so. She was able to get the better of her, actually, so. And we are seeing Racing Mike saying, oh, that hurt so bad. Tim ain't getting that jersey as I'm not logging out for a week. Kim Little, oh, man, is going to be staying on for a week. Absolutely hilarious. Not logging out for a whole week. I wonder if they switch the jersey and you don't log out and you have the jersey on and then he logs in with the jersey, if you both hold on to the jersey. That'd be interesting to see. Do it. Let's see if we can find an Easter egg where you can hold on to the jersey for the whole week. That'd be absolutely hilarious here. And Angela Webster saying, "Go Carrie!" And great effort there coming from Des Mooney. Thanks a lot, everybody who's tuned in over at the broadcast on Facebook. Again, quick shout out. We are live next week for this race. Twitch front page. We're going to have a lot of people who've never seen Zwift before. We'd love to see the whole community come on out to our Twitch channel. If you haven't done so, head on over to twitch.tv/Zwift Community Live. Hit that follow button over there. You'll get push notifications every single time we go live. If you're noticing today, we were streaming on ZCL's Zwift Community Live's Facebook, as well as our Twitch and our YouTube. We weren't on Go Zwift channel. That might be something that happens more and more in the future. If Zwift has other things going on, Zwift's doing their big running launch today. And so we are mainly on the ZCL spaces. And if you don't get notifications every time we go live, and you're like, man, why aren't I getting those? It's because you're not watching on a streaming platform. You're watching on a social media platform. So head on over to the streaming platform, that's Twitch, and you'll get push notifications every single time that we do go live. So next up here on ZCL, we're going to be doing the Crit East, presented by Cyclops. Make sure to tune in tonight for that. We will be live with all of the racing action for the East the East Series, 8 p.m. EST, as here is all of the racing action for the men's and the women's that is going to be coming up. And so that is going to be next week, though. The 15th and the 22nd is when our spotlight is here on ZCL. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Real quick, I'm going to go through the women's results for the, if they have updated. I'm just going to double check and see if they have for the series. And I believe they've updated. I am seeing real quickly here. I'm going to see if they have. Yep, and they have. Rachel Elliott still top spot. Patricia Angerman, though, second place there. Cassie Baldy jumps up to third. Kristen Falk there for fourth. Z Kreider there in fifth. So Patricia Angerman takes over second. Z does fall back to fifth, but she defends well with that result today in that sprint away from the chase group. Kirsten Pohl bumps up into sixth. Frederica Haig falls down to seventh there. Jerlene Vanderbeach holds on to a top 10 situation there in eighth place. Carrie Konebear, though, up in the ninth out of, I believe she was in 12th or 13th place. So solid result. Willem Prince holds on. Ani Lundar falls out of the top 10. Kaz Jen there bumps into 12th. And Steve Ingmo 13th. Claire Reed 14th. Lindy Gray there. 15th Fair sitting in 15th place. Solid effort all around to all the men and the women out there today out on Zwift. If thanks all to all the viewers that tuned in today. Next up again, it will be the East Crit Series, 8 p.m. EST is when we'll be going live with that. So tune in over on Twitch, and we will see you tonight. We'll be only live, I believe, on ZCL Spaces tonight, you guys. So if you want to watch, make sure to head on over to Twitch and hit that follow button, or tune in on ZCL's Facebook or YouTube. And YouTube is also where you can catch all the VODs. Let me see if we got any questions or comments real quick here before we leave. And Kim Little saying, do it there. Love it. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Nathan Garrett coming at you from ZCL Zwift Community Live. And we will see you in just a few hours for the Kiss Crit East North America, presented by Cyclops. And as always, ride on.